Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now it's match reaction time for the Everton versus Manchester United game. Now where do I start? It was, let's just start off by straight away, okay, 2-1, great result, okay. It was the perfect way to bounce back after a poor game against Manchester City, okay. Now for me, it was hit or miss. It was an improvement to the match. It was one of them games that we knew was going to be a very tough game whatsoever. We knew Everton would be a tough team to break down. We knew how good their midfield is. Obviously, they have the best defence on record with the least conceded goals. So they're doing well. So you know it's going to be a tough game. And Goodison Park is never an easy game to go to. Before tonight's game, we were 2 losses and 2 draws the last time we went to Goodison Park. So the last 4 times we've gone to Goodison Park, we've not won once. So when you think about it, it's a great result, not only for the stats for the actual game itself for being at Goodison Park, but also United went through a terrible game against Manchester City. Even though the score was 6-3, the result doesn't explain itself. United got absolutely battered, and considering Everton scored the first goal in the first 5 minutes as well, the way that the United's heads players, our heads didn't really drop really. We scored with 10 minutes after they scored, which was a great turnaround. And normally, Manchester United players' heads drop, then they concede another, or they start misplacing passes. Now, there was a lot of mispossession today as well. And it was a frustrating game for certain players. And I'll get onto them in a moment. But there was also a lot of positives. And Casemiro finally starts as well. What a massive difference he made, by the way. I think the centre defensive midfielder is such a, what's the word, underestimated position for football. You look at how City play with Rodri. Yes, he doesn't get forward too much, but he's crucial to their system. Like Casemiro is going to be crucial to Manchester United's system. And what he does isn't going to get you headlines in the newspaper. But what he does, he brings stability, he brings calmness, he brings concentration, he brings leadership. He's so calm and confident. And that's what you want from a holding midfielder. And he tracks his runners as well. And he's the best. He's one of the best holding midfielders in Europe. And that's before we signed him. He was great for Real Madrid for a consistent amount of seasons. And I don't know why we never went in for him previously, because he's a great holding midfielder. And you can tell that with him in the team, we look like a different United. Now, I'll get on to McTominay as well, because that's recently been McTominay's position. McTominay is still an average player to me. Okay, he's been great this season. I really like what he's done. He's really stepped up his game, what he's doing with his development and stuff like that. He's playing really well, okay, but he's still an average player to me. And it was only a matter of time that all United fans can even admit that there was only a matter of time before McTominay can keep Casemiro out of the squad for too long. Because no doubt, when McTominay slips up, you've got to play Casemiro. And that's what happened in the derby. He started McTominay, didn't start Casemiro, and look what happened. But I'm not going to blame just McTominay for the City loss. There were so many players that were poor in that game. But I think Casemiro, what he brought today was just absolutely incredible. And that assist to a Ronaldo as well, it was absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, we'll get into the video and talk about other players now. But the first half, Casemiro also was a bit of a blame to the first goal. Well, the first conceded goal. Well, the only conceded goal, should I say. But what happened was, Casemiro was being pressed, and it was a poor ball from, was it Dalot? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, I should have known that before I started recording. Anyway, it was a poor ball to Casemiro, and he got tackled, and it was a good shot from Iwobi outside the box. De Gea's not saving it because he just can't get there in time. I mean, I said when it first went in, when De Gea should be saving that. My granddad and my dad turned round and was like, "No, you can't. He can't save that. It's because it was such a good goal and it was in the far net of the corner. It was upsetting for De Gea because he wanted to catch it. You can tell he was at full stretch. But for me, I watched a podcast with Ben Foster, And he talked to, I think was it Ramsdale? Yeah, I think it was the Ramsdale one. And Ramsdale and Ben Foster both agreed that when you know someone's going to take a shot off, you have to watch the space. So the lot is marking Iwobi. Then you've got Lindelof and Martinez, right? He can't hit it far post because they're blocking it. So his only option is to go far right to De Gea's left. And De Gea was at full stretch. So for me, in my eyes, De Gea should have been on his toes and should have made that dive a little bit sooner to try and make that save. That's my issue with De Gea. I think he stays on his line way too much. Like when it comes to crosses, when it comes to long shots, I think he panics, or he likes to be comfort on his line and stays there too much. And that's my only issue with De Gea, apart from his distribution. His distribution is also improving, but I do think that him as a whole, that's one of his weaknesses to his game. But Anthony Martial, it's a tough one, because when I saw him in the lineup, I was like, okay, good, he deserves that start. I personally would have started Ronaldo, I said that anyway. And lo and behold, I was right, because I turned round and said on my previews on All for United and on this channel that I would honestly play either Rashford or Martial, because they've only both just come back from injury, and I wouldn't risk playing both of them in case one does get injured. And look what happened, Martial went off injured. And I think because we're in October, soon we'll be playing 2 games every week, sometimes 3 games a week. And United need so much rotation and all the players available as possible. And you can't be making risks like that. That's why I was so glad Varane didn't play today. Obviously, he came on for like, what was it, 2 minutes at the end of the game. But I'm just glad that Ten Hag savoured Varane, because Varane is so crucial. And I think Anthony Martial is as well. I'll get the quote up now. Where is it? Let me find it, 1 second. Oh, I can't find it now. I had it all set up. Anyway, Ten Hag turned round and said about it being a back problem for Martial. That's why he went off. But I'll read you some more of Ten Hag's quotes now. Ten Hag said, quickly 1-0 down, but the reaction of the team was good. That's one of our aims, to respond well to setbacks. That is perfect from what you want to hear from your manager. We had a poor game against City, and then straight away he's targeting what United players have been doing for many seasons. We concede a goal, our heads drop, we have no confidence in ourselves. It's like, I don't know, it's like something that like pins us down, and it's like make depression in a way, where it pins you down. You have no energy, you can't be bothered, and that's what happens to Man United. It's like they have no self-belief, and that's one of our issues. When we concede a goal early, United players, their heads drop, and that's what you've seen for so many seasons right now. It happened against City. They scored the first goal, our heads dropped, we weren't focusing. They scored another, then our heads dropped even more. Then when the third goal went in, we knew we were out of the game. And then by then, you can't let your heads drop. So even if you concede 1 goal in the first minute, like Liverpool today, Liverpool and Arsenal had one of the games of the season, by the way, but we're not an Arsenal-Liverpool channel. And the fact that Liverpool, even Liverpool are terrible at the moment this season. They don't know what's going on with them. But they conceded in the first minute. Martinelli scored, I think it was in 55 seconds or something like that. And what did Liverpool do? They got their heads together and carried on pressing. They carried on playing their game. And it wasn't until Liverpool equalised, the game was a different game. And that's what you want to do. You want you to keep your heads high, because yes, it was an error, it was a mistake, but we come back from that because they'll make a mistake at some point and then we'll capitalise on it. That's what you want as a team. But that's just my opinion as what United fans should do. And I think Ten Hag is drilling that into the players. So another quote from Ten Hag. Goodison Park is difficult. The crowd behind, but they are in a good run, 7 games unbeaten. Not anymore. Ten Hag has obviously ruined Lampard's unbeaten run so far. It was a great victory, and like I said, I was nervous for this game because I think that the way the Ammonia game was played, the City game, I just thought that it could either have gone two ways. The United players' heads could have dropped, or they could have done what they did tonight, where they're just like, right, okay, it's a setback, we'll score more. That's all you need to do. All you need to do. If you concede one, you'll score two. That's all you need to do. And yes, it's easier said than done, but that's pretty much the simplest way of putting it. You don't want to be like, oh, we'll nick a goal back and keep the game there. No, you push them and push and push. And then you get your second goal. Then you try for your third goal and fourth goal. And that's when domination kicks in as a football team. But another Ten Hag quote, the ball can always come in. We should have scored already for the third, and then it was game over. Like the Rashford goal. So obviously Rashford's goal was offside. It was handball, not offside, it was handball. And it was cancelled out. But Ten Hag's here saying that we should have scored the third already, and then it was game over. That is the next step we have to make. Happy with the result, of course, and also a lot of periods happy with the performance. This is what I love about Ten Hag, is that no matter what, we could win 5-0 against City in the next derby, right? And you'll still pick something out that went wrong or something to improve on. And that's what you want of a manager. You want a manager to never be satisfied. You want a manager to drill into your players that, like, even though we're a great team, we're still going for a rebuild, and you've got a lot of developing to go for. Senior players, young players, veteran players. Anyone can still develop, I think, when it comes to mentality, of course. Obviously, Mark Goldbridge, he came up with a great quote as well, where he said, Casemiro has played more ball, has passed the ball more than Eriksen. No surprise we're playing with 70% possession when we've got a CDM who wants the ball and can dictate the game. That is a brilliant quote to say, because like Mark Goldbridge has said, well, obviously, as we know, we've not had a holding midfielder for God knows how long. We was crying for one under Mourinho, and we was screaming for one under Ole, and now we've got one that Ten Hag didn't even want. And like I said at the start of the video, Casemiro won't make headlines for what he does, but it's the little things he does by dictating the game, which is what makes him a world-class holding midfielder. And Rob Dawson as well, ESPN, he turned around and said, fair play to United, recovered from a setback from going behind and defended well at the end. They've thrown in some horrific performances at Goodison recently, but they've deserved the credit tonight. Good result. That's pretty much what I've already said. We haven't had a good run on the last few times we've been to Goodison Park. And we've had some, and it's a great way to have a setback where we conceded the first goal and we defended well and we got more goals than Everton, because that's how you win football matches. But they're the quotes I just want to read out for tonight, and let me know what you thought of that, me getting quotes up from big creators like obviously Ten Hag quotes, Mark Goldbridge, Rob Dawson, etc. But anyway, let's not get into that. Well, I've ranted on long enough now, because it's a game I just wanted to talk about. So let's talk about the goals. So before Anthony Martial went off, he assisted Anthony. It was a great ball. It reminded me a lot of the goal when we scored against Arsenal on Anthony's debut, where it was bang, 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 bang. Martial, well, it was Rashford against Arsenal, but Martial in this case opens up his body, through balls in Anthony. Anthony opening up his body, slides it into the corner. That is one of Anthony's favourite goals to score, where he hits it first time, opens up his body, far corner. That is where Anthony shines. Do I want him to develop his right foot? 100%. He needs to develop that right foot and become a dangerous winger. And I think Anthony can also become a good support winger. He frustrates me that he doesn't track back enough, but a lot of our wingers don't do that. You've got Sancho who doesn't track back. You've got Rashford who doesn't track back. And again, Sancho didn't play tonight, which was another thing that no one's talking about. But anyway, Ronaldo's goal, brilliant. You saw Ronaldo just above the halfway line. He was waiting for the ball. He had loads of space. I think it was Connor Cody wasn't marking him whatsoever. It was either Connor Cody or Tarkowski. I think it was Connor Cody. But Connor Cody, yeah, it was Connor Cody. Connor Cody isn't relatively fast, as we know. So he carried on running in a straight line and didn't mark Ronaldo at all. So Casemiro intercepted the ball, through balls Ronaldo perfectly. Ronaldo just makes an easy run and hits it with his left foot, and Pickford's just not saving it. It was a great goal, and it was a great way to go into the second half. when second half happened, it wasn't a very good half. It was like not much happened. Obviously, Rashford scored near the end, but it was ruled out due to VAR. And I think, like I said, like Ten Hag said as well, if United should have scored the third goal way before Rashford's, and it was disallowed anyway. Like, you want to put the game to bed around the 60th minute for United at the moment. You want to score at least 1 or 2 in the first half and put the game to bed 3-1 up. And that's it. Night out. That's it. Good night. And some teams could, because that's the thing. You've got Everton at the last 10 minutes, full on pressing, crosses coming in, crosses and shots coming everywhere, outside the box, inside the box, corners coming left, right and centre, and it's panic mode at that point because United have only 1 goal up. If we were 3-1 up at that point, yes, we're still defending for our lives, but we know if we did concede, then it's not the end of the world. We don't get 1 point, we still get the 3 points. So that's just my opinion. Even though he had a better game, I would still drop Bruno Fernandes. I think that he wasn't playing well enough, strictly speaking. I just don't think he played well enough. I think Eriksen as well wasn't too good either. I think the way they were misplacing passes, they just weren't that good. And I'd keep Eriksen in because I think we need a creative-minded player. And I personally think Eriksen is better than Bruno at the moment. And I'd still drop Bruno for the next game. But it depends how we play on Thursday against Ammonia at Old Trafford. But yeah, also Dalot, he didn't have a good game whatsoever. Yeah, I think his distribution was terrible. I think this is the 2nd game in a row now. He didn't look good against Ammonia the other night, and that's against Ammonia. I was worried about Dalot this game because I think that with the likes of Anthony Gordon, Iwobi, these players who run at defenders can make them panic, and Dalot's very heavy-footed. He sinks into the ground and he'll do his little shuffle and then get either ran past by or it'll let him run past and make a pass. He doesn't slide in enough, and maybe that's because he's being told to do that, but it's one of them. Dalot's an aggressive-minded player, but he doesn't do aggressive-minded tackles in my eyes. And I think that he just stands off players way too much and instead of going for the ball. But I'm not a professional footballer, am I? I think that attacking Coleman as well was a good move from Ten Hag, putting pace on him when Anthony switched over, when Rashford was also on the left wing. And I just think that Coleman was a bit of a weakness for Everton today. And I think it just benefited it, even though we didn't score that many goals. I think that you could tell that once Rashford or Anthony was past Coleman, he wasn't catching up unless they slowed the game down. But yeah, that's what caused Ronaldo's goal, because Coleman was way too far forward. It drags Cody out of position, and Cody had to keep it central as well as try and mark him Ronaldo. He just couldn't do it because he doesn't have the pace himself. So yeah, as a whole though, I think that the game was very good. Like I said, there was some things to point out on. It was a good, like I said, it was a great way to bounce back after City. 100%. It was a great way to bounce back. And that's what you want from your team. Hopefully, Ammonia on Thursday will be a much easier game than it was last Thursday. But as a whole, I think that the game was a good result. So I'm going to put my player ratings somewhere, either here, wherever. And obviously they'll be coming through now as I'm talking. But yeah, what else can I really talk about while the player ratings are showing? That can I talk? Like I said, as you can see by the clip, I give Casemiro my man of the match. We'll talk a bit about Ronaldo. I said on All for Football, on All for United, sorry, not All for Football, All for United, that Ronaldo should have started this game. I think that his frustration for not scoring against Ammonia would have been perfect. And I told you that he'd score at some point. I told you all that Ronaldo would have scored at some point in the Everton game because he'll be so frustrated with how he played against Ammonia. And let's just hope he can kick off here. 700 goals as well, club goals. I tried tweeting it on Twitter, says hashtag CR700. So try and get that trending if you're on Twitter. But yeah, but apart from that, I think that Ronaldo had a very good game. I think Casemiro had a very good game. I think that Martinez, again, showing his strength and his confidence as the defender. Luke Shaw had a good game as well, actually. I forgot about Luke Shaw. The way that Luke Shaw has kind of done what Casemiro's done, where he's the more veteran type player, waiting for the player that's in front of him to make a mistake, and he makes a good performance out of it. But Malacia 100% had to be dropped. No one was expecting Malacia to become the first choice left back, by the way. We brought him in from Feyenoord for about 12 million. And then all of a sudden, Luke Shaw has 2 terrible games. And then Malacia's in and he has a great run of form. And then he just dips in form a little bit. And obviously, I'm guessing on Thursday, he'll play Malacia. Maybe not. Maybe he just wants to get some match sharpness into Luke Shaw. We don't know. We'll see how this week goes until Thursday. The preview will be coming on Wednesday. So yeah, let me know what you thought of the game as well as a whole. 2-1 was a good victory, I think, like I've said many times in this video. And yeah, it wasn't too bad of a game, to be honest. I thought that it could have gone 2 ways, where United bottle it completely, or we did what we did. We just struck Everton. We didn't let them get us down. We just allowed what happened. The mistakes that happened as well were basic mistakes, but we didn't let it cost us. And it was just a great game, I think, for United. It was a perfect bounce back, as I've said many times. So yeah, I'm not going to stop repeating myself. Thank you for watching today's video. Let me know your thoughts on the match. Let me know your pet player ratings in the comments down below. And yeah, like I said, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. Really helps out the channel. We're on 47 subscribers, so we're so close to 50 subscribers. I really want 50 subscribers by the end of the month. So please, if you have any friends that are United fans or even football fans who want to subscribe to the channel, it really helps out the channel. So please get Red Devils TV out there as much as I am. So yeah, thank you for watching today's video. And yes, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.